Hi guys, this is Mr. Assassin and I'm here today to do Toriko chapter 319 review. Now this chapter is a what the fuck chapter, not because of any character interaction, but because of what it reveals. And because of that, I'm going to structure today's review in a review slash discussion. So I'm going to have the review, then the discussion. So that being said, I'm going to start with the review and it's going to be a very quick one. The chapter this week comprises of two parts. The first part, the interaction between Kaka, Terry, Kiss and Queen, and the second part, Toriko, the four heavenly kings, and the monkeys are trying to go to the birth cry tree. Now, the first part is the more interesting part where Terry, Kiss and Queen were prepared to fight against Kaka, even though they knew that they could fail and they could get eaten. But Kaka didn't want to lose energy on that fight, so she pulled out a piece of material belonging to some creature or somebody, we don't know, that frightened Terry, Kiss and Queen so badly that they couldn't stop shaking for a few minutes. And that's why Kaka was able to get away. And that's the first part. I will talk about it in the discussion. The second part is Toriko and the four heavenly kings trying to get to the birth cry tree. However, they're not able to go there because they don't have a mode of transportation. The Denshar is still only a head. It didn't recover its body, so they don't have a mode of transportation, and if they go on foot, that will take them a few weeks to go to the birth cry tree. So they asked the monkeys that came to the top of 100G mountains, like the wizard monkey, every one of those guys, Goritaurus, blah blah blah, and they asked them how did they got there, and apparently they traveled on this cloud. So they take the cloud and they travel to the birth cry tree. But apparently this cloud is actually a fart, or actually a piece of shit from Bambina, something like that. So it's very funny because they travel on a piece of shit, and even though it's stinky, it's very fast and it gets them there to the birth cry tree immediately. And it also makes a reference to Dragon Ball Z, because Goku, which is the king of apes, was traveling on Nimbus, which was a cloud. And also I understand in the legends of the Monkey King travels on a cloud. So this thing is like a gag in regards to the Monkey King. Anyway, it was funny. And they get to the birth cry tree, and all the apes from the Area 7 continent are waiting for them, and also Kaka. Now, there could be two possibilities here. One, this Kaka is somebody else, a new Kaka that was actually affiliated with Chi-Chi, because remember, Chi-Chi has sent the four heavenly kings to meet with somebody on the Area 7 continent. Secondly, it could be the same Kaka, and perhaps she was just testing them when she went berserk. She was just testing them to see if they folded, and because they did not, she will probably go along with them on that journey from now on. And that's basically the chapter. Now for the second part of this video, the discussion. And before we start the discussion about the first part of the chapter, which was the interaction between Kaka and Terry, Kiss and Queen, I want to talk a little bit about Bambina. So, what you must realize is that Bambina in itself, it's not just powerful. Yes, of course, he can do feats that go to extremes. I mean, he can travel at 150 times the speed of sound. He can do multiple actions, like 6-7 actions in 0.1 seconds. His strength is unrivaled. His blasts are continental level, and that's casual. His tail swipe was planetary level. But that's not why he's so strong. If you think about it, the reason he is so strong is because he's an ecosystem in its entirety. His balls can provide nourishment for the entire Area 7 continent. Just the sound of his balls can provide nourishment and revitalize everybody in the vicinity, including the four heavenly kings, which are very strong. Not only that, but 100G Mountain was created by Bambina as a tomb for his lover, and because of the gravity, creatures from this continent and from other continents that fly over 100G Mountain get squashed by its gravity and are being transformed into nutrients for Area 7. Not only that, but he also taught Embu to the entire monkey population of Area 7 and provided a governing system. Not only that, but even Bambina's shit is being used as a travel way, travel facility. I don't know. They travel by that means. So, Bambina, just by being on Area 7, changed the entire ecosystem. Just by being there, without even doing anything. That's why he's so scary. He is a creature so powerful that he can change entire ecosystems just by being there. And if you remember, back a few chapters ago, before the four heavenly kings entered the ring to fight Bambina, Terry, Kiss, and Queen wanted to fight Bambina, wanted to attack it, because it was in their blood. They are kings of the gourmet world, and even though Bambina was a lot more powerful than they currently are, they wanted to fight because it was in their blood. But Toriko politely asked them to step aside and let them handle things. So that only adds to the gravity of this situation, because when Kaka pulled out that piece of material, whatever it was so frightening for Terikis and Queen that they were trembling for a few minutes. And a few minutes in Toriko is a lot of time. When you have dudes like Bambina who can rip your head off, you can rip your head in 0.01 seconds. A few minutes is a lot of time. But apparently that piece of material, whatever it was so frightening and had an aura so repulsive that they were stunned right then and there. So what Mitsutoshi did, again, is create another hype train. There was a hype train that took us to Bambina, and before the fight with Bambina there was only hype and more hype. And now that Bambina actually was quote unquote defeated, he wasn't defeated, they just made the dance. But anyways, now that Bambina's story is over, this hype train has stopped. So another hype train was supposed to take off. And this is the new hype train, because Mitsutoshi has created a very powerful character in Bambina who can change landscapes, entire continent, just by being there. And now, because of this piece of material, he created another creature that dwarfs Bambina in power. He dwarfs Bambina in power, if Terry, Kiss, and Queen could not even move, and they were prepared to attack Bambina before. So again, Mitsutoshi does this again. Now, when we think about this piece of material, there could be two possibilities. First of all, it belongs to a creature. It's a piece of fur or some scales, skin, or it belongs to somebody. A piece of material, a piece of clothing, something. We don't know. So there are two possibilities I currently see. One, the Demon King, who everyone is talking about the Demon King right now. It could be a possibility that this is a scare or something from the Demon King, or it could be a cassia. And this is my own theory, and it's a pool, a very big pool. But Acacia, when we saw him in the flashback, I don't think he ate God at that point in time. And the reason I say this is because God can only be harvested during the eclipse, and he was waiting for the eclipse to go with the Blue Nitro and harvest God. And then they had to find somebody to prepare it, because as we see with each ingredient, it's not enough to eat it raw, you need to prepare it. So he needed somebody to prepare. And so my theory is that at that point in time he knew about God. God was supposed to be in his menu, but I don't think he actually ate it. I could be wrong, I could be terribly wrong, but that's just a hypothesis. So first of all, why an individual can only harvest God during the eclipse? Could it possibly be because God is on another planet, and during the eclipse you can go to the other planet, or a portal opens to the other planet? It could be. It's sounding more and more like Toriko and the others are going on a space adventure. But of course we also have the cave in the middle of the earth that could be a possible thing. Because remember, this planet is a living organism. This planet was attacked, not attacked, but the gamma cells came to this planet, and they went on developing and evolving, and they encompassed almost the entirety of the planet. That's why the planet is so big. So you could say the entire planet is a living organism. But where did those gamma cells came from in the first place? That's the question. So you see, I do believe that Toriko and the others will go on a space adventure, and they will meet whoever blocks the sun, let's say that, the Demon King. There are some otherworldly powers involved here in Toriko, and this is starting to take shape, because this world as it is could not have been created without outside interference. And this piece of material, whoever it belongs to, is has otherworldly powers that could even scare the kings of the gourmet world. So that being said, I'm going to stop right here and end this discussion for now, because everything else I'm going to say will be purely speculation, and I don't want to speculate on that. I'll probably make another discussion, but next week there will be no Toriko chapter, and that's a shame, because I really wanted to see what would happen with Greenmond and the monkeys. Anyway, give me your thoughts on what you think this piece of material really is and who it belongs to, and rate, comment, subscribe. Have a nice day, guys.
Any rational society would either kill me or put me to some use.